Hello everyone. In this video, we'll discuss about arrays in C#. Before knowing what is an array, let us understand why this array concept came into picture. We all know about variables. So variables are used to store data. Say I want to store roll numbers of students. If I am using variables, then how will I store? I'll declare separate variable to store each roll number. So to avoid this, array concept came into picture. Array holds series of values. Because roll number is of type integer, it can hold series of values in single array. Arrays are of three types: single dimensional array, multi-dimensional array and jagged array. Let us see one by one. First we'll see about single dimensional array. How do we declare and initialize a single dimensional array? Syntax for creating a single dimensional array is: first, you need to mention the data type. Here I am going to create integer array. I have given integer as data type. After this, you have to give square bracket. After the square bracket, you have to give the array name. Here I want to store roll number of students, so I'll give array name as roll number. So this is how you create an array. Next, the question comes: how do we initialize this array? This array can be initialized by making use of new keyword, and in this initialization you will define what is the size of the array you're going to use. I am going to give 5 as array size. That means this array is going to hold 5 roll numbers. Next we'll see how to assign values to this array. Right now this array is an empty array. We need to assign values to this. So that can be done by using indexing. So roll number of 0 is equal to, always array index starts from 0. This is one method to assign values to the array. You can assign values at the time of declaration itself. I'll just comment this. Once you have declared an initialized array, here itself in the flower brackets you can give the values you want to assign to this array. And there is one more thing. If you do not specify the size of the array here, compiler will automatically get the size of the array depending on the elements you have provided. So here I have given 5 values. That means compiler decides that this array is of size 5. Now next question comes: how do we access these array elements? Again, there are 3 methods to access array elements. Suppose I want to access only first element of array, then I can go for indexing. Now let us run this and check whether the first element of array is getting printed or not. You can see the first element of array is getting printed, which is 1. Indexing method is useful when you are going to print only one value. If you want to display all the values present in the array, then you can go for loop or for each loop. So let us make use of for each loop here. For each integer I in roll number, we'll just print the array elements to the console. Let's run this. We are getting the array elements. How do we declare and initialize a multi-dimensional array? It is similar to declaring and initializing single dimensional array, only the difference is here you will have both rows and columns. So for that, in the square bracket you need to mention the comma. 1 comma tells you 2-dimensional array. If you provide 2 commas, it is 3-dimensional array. So let us go for 2-dimensional array, and here I'll store employee details in the form of table. We'll initialize array now, making use of new keyword. After initializing, here in the square bracket you can mention the size of the array, or it is optional. Let me mention the size of the array here, 3, 3. That means this employee details array is going to have 3 rows and 3 columns. Now the question comes: how do we assign values to this multi-dimensional array? We can make use of indexing, or else we can assign values at the time of declaration itself. So inside this flower brackets you can give values. As it is string, I'll give names. So this means you are providing values for row 1. Next we'll provide values for row 2. Next we'll provide for row 3. We have assigned values to this employee details array, which is having 3 rows and 3 columns. How these values will be stored? These values will be stored in row 0, row 1, row 2. How to access this multi-dimensional array values? We can access it by using for each loop or for loop or even with indexing. Suppose if I go with indexing 0, 0, let us check what gets printed. It is printing Ram. If I change it here to 1, then what should be printed? Yes, in 0th row, the first 35 should get printed. Let us check that whether it is printed. Yes, it is printing 35. Now, if we want to print it in the form of table, then we can make use of for loop. So how do we make use of for loop here? For int I is equal to 0, I less than employee details and get length of 0, I plus plus, and we'll make use of one more for loop, that is nested for loop here. In order to access both rows and columns, j is equal to 0, j less than employee details dot get length will print the array elements to the console. What is our array name? It is employee details and then I comma j. Next we'll give console dot write length. Here get length function returns the size of the array at particular index. Now let's run and check what output we'll get. Here you can see we are getting 3 rows and 3 columns, employee details, name, age and their state. Why do we go for multi-dimensional array? Multi-dimensional arrays are useful when working with matrix or complex data or pixel matrix of an image. In those cases, we go for multi-dimensional array. Now we'll discuss advantages and disadvantages of an array. As I have said, variable can store only one value. In order to store series of data or series of values, we go for arrays. But the disadvantage of going to array is of fixed size. That means once you declare array size as 3 cross 3, that means you can only store 9 values in this array. If you try to store values more than the size of the array, you will get an error. Let us check what is that. So here I'll simply give name as ABC. See here it's telling an array initializer of length 3 is expected, but we are giving more than 3 here. I hope now you have clear idea about arrays. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for future videos.